All right, this is episode 3 of Illusions of the Ego. Make sure you've watched episode 1 and 2. Episode 3, your ego is a liar. How do I know this? Because at the beginning of my journey, my ego was telling me, Ryan, when I was 17, 18 years old and I had this dream of being self-employed, I had this dream of creating a life of my design, a life that I love, a life that was amazing, incredible, that I woke up in the morning every day excited about, where I could travel and do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. And I grew up in a town that wasn't the status quo. I mean, the status quo was go to work, get a job, and do well. That's what success meant. To me, it was something completely different. And if I would have bought that lie of what if you fail, Ryan, this is what the ego is telling me. Ryan, what if you fail? What are your parents gonna think about you if you fail? What are your friends gonna think about you if you fail? What are the people that you actually don't even care about going to think if you fail? The judges of our society. If I would have bought that lie, if I would have believed that lie, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be making this video. I would have been in the exact same place 5 years later, 6 years later. But instead, I decided to tell myself that I took a moment and I looked at my life and I said, you know what? I would rather fail for the rest of my life and look back on this moment knowing that I had the courage to actually go after my dreams than to fail by default, by not going for it at all. And that was a massive game changer for me. And if I would have bought it, no success. How many lies is your ego telling you about yourself? How many lies is your ego telling you about life that you are buying and believing that are costing you money, that are costing you success, joy, happiness, love? One of the biggest lies, there are so many lies in reality. Here's one of them. Life's a bitch and then you die. How many people have you heard say that? Life's a bitch and then you die. That's a fucking horrible way to live life. And that's just a belief. That's just a belief that people buy and people tell, well, if you lived my life, you would know it. And then there's the ego gaining evidence and gathering evidence to be like, yeah, this is true. Because that's what we do as human beings, to prove our beliefs true or false. We gather evidence. How could you believe life's a bitch and then you die when Helen Keller, who was blind and deaf, literally created the quote, life is a daring adventure or nothing at all. That's what she said. And you think your life is tough? She was blind and deaf. She's saying life's a daring adventure or nothing at all. If that's not a wake-up call for you, I don't know what would be. So one of the other lies that our ego tells us is, I am the way I am. Life is the way it is. It thinks of life as fixed, okay? It thinks of ourselves as fixed. You know what? That's just the way I am. This is a lot of, older conditioning that we buy. Well, I am the way I am. Life is the way it is. That's just the way it is. No, the truth of it is life is what you make it. You are the person that you decide to be right now. You're creating and reinforcing your identity. Or you can just resign and say, no, I am the way I am. I'm not good enough. I'm not enough. I'm a piece of shit. That's how people talk to themselves. That's how people treat themselves. When you could say, no, I'm powerful beyond measure. I have the power over the story that I tell myself and reinforce about who I am. I'm powerful beyond measure. I used to tell myself I wasn't enough for girls. I used to tell myself I wasn't enough to be successful. I changed the story about myself and it allowed me to change my life. So what is the story, the lies that you're making up about yourself and about life, and how can you change that story into a hero story, into a story that inspires you? Because reality check, the story that you create about yourself is what's creating the energy, the beliefs, the conversations, and the results in your life. The story that you make up about you and about life is the game that you're playing. If you make up a story that there aren't any opportunities, there will never be any opportunities for you. If you make up the story that, oh, you gotta be connected in order to be successful, then you're never going to be connected because you're putting yourself outside of it. If you make up the story that you are unstoppable, that you're powerful beyond measure, that you're capable of creating anything beyond your wildest dreams, guess what? You will be able to do it. And this isn't just a motivational speech. I don't want to motivate you. I'm sharing with you the key beliefs and tools that have allowed me to create the success that I have, and that have also allowed the most successful people that I know to do the same. It is absolutely critical to create a new empowering story about who you are, a story about life. You can either believe the lie that life is against me, and you can gather up all the evidence to prove that so, or you can say life is on my side. The universe has my back. The universe is on my side. Whatever I ask shows up in my reality, and our brain will find those things and it will create it. We are that powerful. You are that powerful. So, if this made a difference for you, if this inspired you, hit that subscribe button, share it out on your social media. Everyone gets to know this, everyone gets to hear this message. Everybody gets to live a life of authenticity, a power of knowing that they're enough. And if you're in on that, join my tribe, my community that I'm creating on YouTube, full of go-getters and people who want to create the biggest, best, most badass life possible. If you're in on that, then welcome to the family. I appreciate you, and have an absolutely extraordinary day.